Finding a good monitor nowadays can be a daunting task for sure. You usually need to pick a couple features you really want, and you might end up sacrificing one feature for another. We've all been there. That, or what we truly want, is insanely expensive because it ticks all the boxes. With that, I think I have found myself a new monitor that ticks majority of the boxes for what I'm looking for without breaking the bank. What's going on, guys? Javier here. Today I've got myself one of Gigabyte's new monitors in-house. I've been really enjoying my Xbox Series S lately, as well as PC gaming and content creation on the side. I've had a Lenovo ultrawide for a long time, but it only has 2 ports and I've outgrown its capabilities. Within the last year, monitors and gaming monitors have gotten really good. This new monitor from Gigabyte is no exception. With some standout features, I'm excited to jump into it. From the get-go, unboxing was fine, nothing fancy here. The display was well packed, coming with a slew of cables. In the box, you've got the display itself, a stand, a cable specific for the KVM, and power cables. The stand itself feels way heavier than I thought it'd be, actually a really good sign. The display is bigger in hand as well, but it should fit just fine even on small setups. Regarding cables, there's a lot. Looks like they've included a USB A to B for the KVM switch features, the power cable, as well as regional plugs if you need them. Setting up was great. I plan to try both the stand as well as a monitor arm setup. I decided to set this up on the stand it came with instead of VESA mounting. I haven't used a stand in a while, and this one offers a lot of adjustments for tilt, height, and rotation. Connecting up everything, I've got an impressive 4 things hooked up to this monitor. My gaming PC through DisplayPort, Xbox Series S through HDMI 2.0, the same for my Switch OLED, and finally my MacBook Pro through USB-C. Now coming down to the design, this thing is really nice. The design is sleek and minimal and doesn't really scream gamer, which is just the way I like it. I know lots of people like RGB, but I really don't. As mentioned, the stand is super heavy, so this monitor isn't going to move an inch. You've got some small Gigabyte branding on the front, and I'm okay with that. And on the back end, it's pretty basic, some minor design aspects, but outside of that, it's rather boring, and that's okay. The I/O is all downwards facing, so if you're planning for cable management, now you know. The menus are accessible through this joystick, which seems to be the new standard for a lot of monitors. And of course, you've got the KVM switch. Now, I usually VESA mount all my monitors, but I figured I'd give this monitor a try on the stand, and I haven't been disappointed. The stand allows great height adjustments as well as tilt and rotation. For me, this works wonders as I have it higher up, like on my bookshelf. The stand is amazingly versatile. If you are looking to use this in portrait orientation, you'll definitely need to put it on a compatible VESA mount. Jumping into the features, this thing is jam-packed. As I'll primarily be using this for gaming with my Xbox Series S, it really lines up well to get the most out of my system. Since the Series S puts out a lovely 1440p at 120Hz, this monitor is bang on. There are some gaming specific options that I likely won't use. They've included a frames per second display, some timers. Something I have found myself using a lot are the black level swappers when I'm using it for FPS games. While I'm pretty sure it's just another way of swapping gamma, it's still pretty useful to catch folks lurking in the shadows. While this monitor is marketed to support HDR, anytime I turn it on through the monitor or my systems, it looks like absolute trash. I would not buy this monitor if you're interested in HDR support. That, or I really just haven't figured it out. Some other features that lured me into buying this was the KVM switch and the USB-C port. I'm able to hook up my M1 MacBook Pro with just one single cable, and it charges up, which is pretty nice. I will mention the power delivery is only like 15 watts or something, so it'll need to be a newer generation USB-C device that isn't power hungry. While I'm gaming more and more these days, I still work, do school, and content creation on the side. For me, the KVM switch is absolutely priceless, and more manufacturers need to implement this. More of that shortly. Talking about resolution and gaming, this monitor comes in at 1440p at 165Hz. This lines up super well with the Xbox Series S, although the system will cap at 120Hz. Looking at the whole package, this thing is perfect for an office, bedroom, or dorm. While it can be a little bit on the large side, it's one of those displays that's big enough to see from your bed or small enough to use at your desk. This definitely comes down to personal preference. A downside to having a display this size though is the resolution is stretched across a larger display, meaning you are losing some of that sharpness compared to say a 27-inch model. Coming from my old Lenovo, this was immediately noticeable. My old ultra-wide or any 1440p 27-inch display comes in at about 110 ppi, whereas this monitor is about 92 ppi. So definitely keep that in mind because yes, it is noticeable, especially if you're closer to the display. I did stop noticing after about a day though. Comparison is definitely the thief of joy, but if it is a deal breaker, this same monitor does come in both a hard to find 34-inch ultrawide as well as an easy to find 27-inch model. Now, I'm not a sweatlord gaming like I used to be, but the crosshair feature on this monitor has been awesome when playing games like Halo through Game Pass. The display looks incredible as well. The colors are great, gameplay is super smooth, and gaming is an amazing experience overall. An Xbox Series S plus this monitor will give you an amazing budget setup for just under $750. Quick mention to the speakers, honestly, they're not that good. 2 3-watt speakers is just lame. It's nice to have, but they simply won't do if you're really trying to make use of them while playing an FPS game or something. For adventure games like Pokemon Arceus or Zelda, the sound is fine. It's very tinny, but it won't particularly affect your performance on a casual game. If you've got it hooked up to your Xbox Series X like me, be sure to throw on a good pair of headphones, since plugging direct through a controller is as easy as ever. Either way, if you're not looking into buying separate headphones or speakers, these will do just fine until you can get a better option. Another one of the key selling features for this monitor is the KVM switch. This stands for Keyboard, Video, and Mouse Switch. While this certainly has no effect on your ability to game, especially with the Series S, the feature is totally underrated. When I'm gaming on my PC, sometimes game queues take a while, and I'll admit I'm impatient. Lobbies eat up a lot of our precious time, so for me, using the KVM switch to immediately jump to my MacBook is totally badass. The KVM switch is such a luxury to have, while also being useless for some people. Nothing is stopping you from alt-tabbing or just having a second or third monitor. But for those who just want to swap machines, this is definitely the way to go. I will mention, this switch in particular is only usable through one output source like HDMI or DisplayPort and USB-C. You can only swap to USB-C and never HDMI to HDMI or DP to HDMI. For a gamer, professional, and a creative like myself, again, this is super useful. Overall, this monitor is awesome, really. It simply has so much to offer for the price point. I feel like other manufacturers are going to have to step up their feature offerings if this is the direction things are going. Gaming is awesome for sure. For the value, this is a straight hit. I do feel like 32 inches might be a bit big for the office, but that extra screen estate does come with its benefits. Both 34-inch ultra-wides and 27-inch displays will offer better pixels per square inch, which may benefit some people, but if you're looking for a larger gaming experience, you can't go wrong with this one. Anyways, that's been it. Thanks for watching. Till next time.